Hello guys, those of you who have been watching me from the beginning, you know that I go through a period where I'm ironing and doing my videos. So if you're wondering what I'm doing and the noise, it's a press and I'm ironing sheets and for the business. Anyway, so I want to make a little video about spotting the dysfunction in the family, in all the members that are surrounding the narcissist. So okay, the narcissist, the core. The narcissist is the core of the dysfunction, and the narcissist is also the person that, I mean, I look at it like a virus, okay? And you get touched by it. You get touched by the virus. So some people will get it bad and react to it bad, and some people it just passes through them. So you have different levels of reacting to a virus. But nevertheless, one way or another, the virus touches you. So we had another family meeting, all of us. My sister and her family came from abroad for their annual holiday here. And on the second day, my father came also over to visit so he could see all of us together. And they decided to have a barbecue at their house to keep us away from the place where the narcissist, or the narcissist house, because usually we go to the narcissist house and meet up. But my brother-in-law decided that no, we're not going to go in her web. Exactly, in her web. We're going to invite her and do it here. So that, to lessen her power, actually, you know, this is what it is. She might feel obliged to be polite. She might feel obliged to be nicer being in somebody else's house. Well, actually, whatever they have to say, they will say. Whoever they have to hurt, they will hurt. They don't give a shit where they are. And so it all started well, kind of. Except that my father, coming out of the car with my mother, because he brought her over, was kind of like, oh, I can't handle it, you know, she pushed me to the edge, you know, go and get her from the car, you know, get her because we have to help her, because she can't walk properly whenever it's convenient, as we all know. And she was, so we're having drinks in another area, and talking with the kids and all that, but she was kind of throwing some awful comments every now and then. We all tried to ignore them. I was recording from the beginning. The sound, I had my mobile, I had 2 mobile phones, and I had my tablet, and I had charged them full battery so that I could record the whole evening. And so I watched all that later. When you're in it, you don't realize how it works. You don't realize how it gets to the point it gets. It's only after. So after, when I was listening, some I recorded only the voice, some I recorded video. And I watched things that I didn't notice at that moment. And I heard things and I realized things that I hadn't realized at that moment. Like, for example, how we encourage, in a way, the behavior. Because when a person, you go somewhere to a party, let's say, and you have a person that is being rude and obnoxious and all that, somebody tells them to stop. If nobody tells them to stop, they will continue this because they're enjoying this. You know, nobody's mean and awful to other people if they're not enjoying it. So by ignoring her all the beginning of the evening, by ignoring her comments and trying to change the conversation and all that, we gave her the right to continue. That's number one that I noticed, and I thought, you know, this is wrong. This is how it's been going on for all these years. We're letting this woman be who she is. Nobody ever told her, stop it now. You know, this is rude what you just said. I want you to stop your rude comments. Okay, they are professionals and they do it in a way that you can't really tell what was rude about the comment. They do that too. So then we go for dinner on another area, and the drama starts. The drama always starts with subjects. She will bring up subjects that bother us. She knows they bother us. Like, for example, we are bothered by racial comments, you know. We are bothered by racist comments. And mostly me. And so she starts like this about foreigners being here and taking advantage of the country and all that. And we try and explain to her with humor. Again, mistake number 2. We use humor to soften the situation, soften the conversation, you know, thinking that maybe if we use humor, we will make her laugh. Okay, and she will not continue that way, or anyway. The one so it's my father, my husband and I, and the kids had left. By the end of the dinner they left, and we continued on. And my brother-in-law and my sister. My brother-in-law is the one who is the most, who knows how to use humor at that moment. And he uses a lot of sarcastic humor, which she loves. And she was ha 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 and laughing all the time. But it was really a sarcastic humor. It was putting her down, but she didn't care. It was a joke. She made it look like, you know, he was joking with her and they had this connection. She wouldn't even understand that he was joking about her. Anyway, so the conversation with refugees and foreigners begins. We try in a very calm way to explain to her that, you know, why are you here? I mean, my mother is a foreigner. She's not Greek. She's a foreigner. Why are you here? Because I was married to a Greek. Yes. But you separated. Or your husband left 25 years ago. Why didn't you go back to your country? Okay, why are you here? And my brother-in-law was making jokes at the same time, telling my sister from the other side of the table, you're going to go back to your country, because my sister being Greek and living abroad. Yeah, so you have to go tomorrow back to your country. I will not accept you in my country anymore. You know, kind of being sarcastic. My mother was laughing again. But this is the thing. We give her the opportunity by laughing to soften the conversation herself and getting out of it herself. She's saving herself. And we are not saving anything because we know that it's going to get worse if you contradict the person anyway. So it really kind of got out of hand. Then she was like about the Greek government being shitty government and stealing from people and I don't know what. And I'm like, and all these people who come here, the foreigners who come here and work without receipt. And I'm like, come on. When we took over the business, we want to legalize everything because you were not very legal, were you? I mean, you made contracts of monthly contracts and you rented by the day. So you put in your pocket, you know, black, quite a lot of money then, back then in the 90s. And there she got really angry because I kind of put her in the corner, you know. You can't criticize those people because you were doing this and you were living as a foreigner in this country, doing this for so many years. And she went mad and she started yelling at me. I did this for you, stupid bitches. Talking about my sister, her children then, you know. She did this for us, kind of thing. All evening though, she kept on using the word, again, malakizmeni, which is cunt or, yeah, stupid cunt or something like that. But she was saying it to me all night long. And at one point, she said like 3-4 times, one after the other. And my husband butted in and he said to her, look, you stop insulting my wife and you stop calling her a stupid cunt. But he did it in a really kind of violent, aggressive way. I mean, there was a basket with a stone inside, so the wind doesn't blow the basket, paper towel basket anyway, and he banged the basket on the table and he said, you know, stop it, you know, you're not gonna insult my wife anymore. I'm not gonna let you insult my wife anymore. And she took the stone and did the move. She was about to throw it on my husband. So it all went out of control really fast. And then my sister grabbed her by the shoulders. My sister, who was trying to be really nice to her and calm her down and all that all evening, she grabbed her by the shoulders and she said, now this is enough. You're in my house and you're not gonna behave like this, you know. Sit down, she said, a really strict kind of way, but without insulting her. Just sit down now and listen. You're a mean person. You know, you've been treating us all like shit here. And this is enough. You know, we are your children and we care about you and we love you. She said those words. And my mother answered back, screaming, I hate my children. It was like, yeah, I hate you both. And all that. And I said, what do you mean? You hate us. I was like, yes, of course, I know it. You've been showing us every day of our lives, you know. And my sister was, you hate your children? And she said, no, her, showing me. I hate her. And she said, but you hate me too. And it took her like 2 seconds, you know. But 3 seconds. It seems like long in the moment. And she thought, and then she turned to my sister and she said, no, you hate a little bit. Like it makes a difference. Yeah. Oh God, it was, anyway, all that was on tape, except the moment where she says to my sister, because I ran out of battery, I had to go and run and get the other phone to continue, where she says, I don't love you, and all that. But the stone thing, everything was on tape. All of the evening was on tape. So the next day I watched it all and I realized how sick the whole situation is. It's not only the narcissist that is fucked up, it's the whole situation around it. I mean, we are in, so I'm going to conclude. My impression was that we are a whole family around the table trying to make a certain person understand that she's mean to everybody, that she's awful, she's got an awful behavior, and that she's driving us crazy. But everyone had their own personal, pain that they had to get out. So everyone was trying to speak on top of each other. And you did this to me, and yeah, you remember when you said this, and it was chaos. I was so ashamed when I was watching the video. My problem was not my mother anymore. I mean, it hasn't been for the last few months. It's been more about what I can correct in myself, you know, and what is the damage that I have to fix about myself. But there I could see that it was sad to see that the whole family has so much pain inside that we had to, we found the opportunity that everybody was against her, which is rare in a narcissistic family, it's very rare that everybody is against the narcissist, okay? Because they do manage to play their games. But thanks for my recordings for so many years, I have proven everybody what a mean person and what a fake, and how she plays us around. I have managed to prove that. That's why I keep on saying to people, if you want to make other people in the family who don't have a clue about the narcissist, don't understand how they manipulate them as well, the only way is to record. The only way. Record the conversations they have with you about others. Because the others, they never know what is told behind their back. They think they're the narcissist friend. They think that the narcissist is on their side, because the narcissist goes to them and criticizes you, okay, or other people, but they never think that they do the same thing about them. So, and this is the only way. Proof. My sister made us all proud because she was like very calm and talking to her and all that. So at one point then, my sister, when she was trying to explain to her, my mother pretended she didn't understand her, and she needed somebody who, my sister's husband, she can understand. Not that his English is better than my sister's, his French is better than my sister's, but she wanted to communicate with him because all night she's been laughing with him, you know. And so he tries to explain to her very calmly that we all have enough. And you're going to have to make a choice now. So you're either going to be like the way you are, but then nobody's going to come and visit you. Nobody's going to call you. Nobody's going to want to see you anymore. He said, personally, I'm not going to let my wife have any contact with you. And I'm not going to let my children have any contact with you. So you decide now. It's black or white. You know, you either continue like this, or you make an effort and to build a better relationship, which he knew from the beginning that what he was saying was like, no point, okay? She's not going to understand. So suddenly she got cornered again. And what she did is, she turned around to me and she was like, who are you? Do I know you? You know, where'd you come from, you know? Who are you? And my sister was shocked. She was sitting with me. My sister was sitting next to me, opposite my mother. And my sister went, what the fuck? You know, what the fuck? And I'm like, because I knew that they play games like this, to this extreme anyway. So I was like, pushed to my sister, like, don't speak now, I'm going to see. I was like, Mom, you don't remember me? I'm your daughter. I don't know you. I've never seen you. I like... Are you sure you don't recognize my face? You haven't seen me and all that? Because it's very important that we know, you know. Maybe you have Alzheimer's, maybe you have a problem. We have to go see a specialist. Of course I know who you are, suddenly. She was cornered again, and she thought, yeah, well, they're not going to take me to the doctors and see that I'm fucked up, you know. And she was like, of course I know who you are, but I don't recognize you. You're not the child I brought up. And I'm like, what exactly is it you brought up? How was the child you brought up? To see where she was going with it, you know, even they do tell on themselves. The child I brought up was a sweet, sensitive child. Said, and now you don't like the woman I have turned out to be, because this is what you were counting on, my sweet, sensitive child, to do everything for me, you know, and now I step foot down, and you don't like that. Oh, I want to go home, Anyway, suddenly, my husband, with whom she had a big fight, okay, was okay to take her to the car. I mean, she took his arm and all that. He said, come on, I'll take you to the car. And she took his arm, you know, and laid on him like doing the little old lady. It's like, oh, it's so sick. It's so sick. Nobody can believe you. If you describe the night the way it went, nobody would believe it. And So when I re-look at the videos, because, okay, I had the camera and the phone on the table recording her, but I was also, there were another, we were another 5 people around her. Everybody was talking, so you follow the conversations, you try and follow the conversations, but I was not always looking at her. And then on the video, I see, on the recording, I see my mother, when I watch it again, she was looking at me, with such disgust. Such disgust. I mean, she had like, yeah, really horrible look. And quite a few times she said under her breath, I mean, nobody could listen to her if she spoke slowly because everybody was trying to say something. And she said, you disgust me. In French, you disgust me. I'm sorry, I pity you. And at one point, yeah, I forgot that. That was a funny thing. That's also a narcissistic one, I think. A good one. At one point, we all said, my husband left the table after they had the fight and all that. He left the table. This conversation continued anyway. Trying to explain to her that she's wrong and her thoughts are like not appropriate. And anyway, and my brother-in-law says, I think you all, so my husband, you all my husband, an apology for what happened. That was not good behavior. Yes, she said. I do pity him. I do pity him. Okay, so she was not. Yes, she was. Yes, I do. I do pity him. So it was not really an apology, was it? It was a put down once more. Even in her apology, she put him down. And my husband went crazy again, and he said, oh, please don't play the victim, you're going to play the victim on me, something like that. It was disgusting. It was disgusting. The whole thing was disgusting. The narcissist was disgusting, and the way she has over the year manipulated us in a way that we are afraid of her. Then we try and we treat her actually like the queen. We do treat her like the queen. Because she treats other people like shit, and we let her do it. We let her get away with it all these years, and enough should be enough. At one point. It's not at one point, it's from the beginning. Okay, when you're a child you don't do it, but at one point the adults should be able to tell them, no. So it's just wanted to share that little experience I had, and we see what happens after. For the moment it's been 15 days and my sister and brother-in-law haven't phoned her. Her children didn't go to visit her. She's boiling about it. Oh, she's boiling about that. And she's gonna put it on, she's not gonna put it on me, but she's going to, she already started actually, get that anger out on me. This is what's been happening for years anyway. So she phones me up and tells me, oh, your sister's been here for 15 days, but she hasn't called me yet, And trying to wind me up, trying to have a fight with me because she's not gonna talk to my sister. Her husband is too clever and too good with words, she's not gonna risk that.